All right, context traders. Hope we're having a fabulous trading day. I want to go over with you a few of today's trades, in particular, looking at this large gap up we had to start the day. So, this is April 14th, 2025. And those of you who saw my last video might remember that I was in a trade down here and I was looking at this move back up into this range. And I left some runners on with the anticipation that we might get up in here. And then it did not happen through the normal trading hours, but we saw the overnights did power clear through that zone. Okay. So we're opening up really high up here above that zone. And we have to think to ourselves, all right, what are those people who woke up fat in the green this morning? What are they thinking? Right. And so the initial thought I would have is, I better cash out some of this money, right? We just had this beautiful explosion, right? Now, there might be some holding here this first 2 minutes, first 3, 4 minutes, waiting to see what the market's going to do. Are we going to get a little bit of a gap and go? Which is absolutely possible. We could have had a gap and go up here, but when we see this type of explosion away from the moving averages, we know that we're really, really frosty up here and we're probably going to need to pull back some. Now, it is oftentimes we'll see a bit of a pullback, some support, and then the go. But what I was seeing here is this selling pressure down, 2 minutes down, wicked all the way up, selling pressure down, wicked up, selling pressure down. If I'm holding that overnight trade, I'm going to be starting to be a little concerned, right? That I'm going to lose all this profit I made. So we're going to start seeing some selling, some selling, some selling. That's creating this momentum. Okay. And so we held out here. I watched for the first couple of minutes. I saw the first minute go up, the second minute down. I saw the third minute come up, push down hard. Fourth, push down hard. Fifth minute here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth minute pushes up. And as it's falling back down, we're clearing that 2 minute range. I'm clicking in puts here. And so we see a little bit of hesitation, then drop, drop, drop. You do get a bounce right here around the 10 EMA. And I scaled out half of my position here, but I'm still thinking, man, we are really looking like we could get that 3 bar push. Remember, a lot of times we get a 3 to 5 bar push on a good, strong move. And so it doesn't matter what chart you're looking at. It could be a minute chart, 2 minute chart. All right. So I'm looking at a potential 5 minute 3 bar push coming down closer into that 21 on the 2, getting closer to that 10 on the 5, right? Filling in some more of that gap. So we get that first bounce, catches, pushes down again. So we have the 1, 2, 3 leg down. We crash through the 21. We're still very aggressive up on this 21 on the 1. We still have a very strong, better than 45-degree angle, 21 on the 2 because of that gap up. Thought because the moving averages hadn't caught up yet that we might see a little bit of slicing activity through them since this is not a normal situation. But they did hold and we saw this bounce out. So I exited a little bit later on this bar than I probably would have liked, but I exited as we were getting back into these wicks right here in this range as we're getting back on top of the 21. I exited that position, right? So I'm at right here around 459.75, and I entered up here in this 463.50 area. So really nice, nice move to start the day. Now, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I did get in this nice call trade here as we started to see these moving averages starting to smooth out a little bit, right? We have this area right in here. We're getting a nice down, over, down. We're coming off that 21 in power. I caught this one as it's rising in power, and we got back up into this area right here. And I got a little too greedy here, thinking that we might get another 1, 2 pullback, 3 to try to come back up here to the high of day area. And unfortunately, it fell right here, and I got a little too greedy. I held this one too long and ended up closing defensively in this area. Only netted about 60 to 70 cents on this trade after should have been a much better trade. And it's okay. I make mistakes sometimes and make the same mistakes that all traders do. But we reset and we saw that we fell down into this same zone again. I was looking at this. Let me clear those out. So I was looking at this wick right here. We had this nice strong 2-minute wick, bounced out of that hard. I thought maybe we get down in that area again, maybe drop a little lower and catch this lower wick area. But it shot right back up, cleared the moving averages, caught some support on top of that box right there. So I got in this trade right in this area at 461.40. Took this up. This time I got a little bit quicker on the trigger, and I closed right as this bar was opening and dropping. So we got right back in that same zone. Fast forward a little bit later, we'd see one more exhaustive push up. We have 4 minutes, no follow through, a good hard drop back through the 21 on the 1-minute chart. We see this retrace 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes of wicks pushing down. I got in this one right here at this area. So as this one was pushing down, I tried to clip it right here at the top of the tent, but it dropped pretty quick and I caught it as it was falling back into this zone. And I took this one down for a really nice ride. So I got in this one early enough. I was able to hold this down one. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we got the final drop. Bang! Clear through that 200, slammed hard through it. And I exited on this rocket bar right here. So as this rocket bar popped down and shot back up into here, I exited. So really nice run from this 462 area all the way down to 457.65. Now, as you can see, this did continue to run on down lower. Um, in hindsight, maybe could have held some runners out to see it get down into this 200, close the circuit from the 21 to 200. But after this run here, I was perfectly content with closing out and finishing off my morning trades at that point. If somebody wanted to hold these here to see if we held below the 200 as this 21 is crossing, we're seeing this narrow state expanding down to the downside, absolutely reasonable to do that. I just chose to take my money and run at that point. Now, I closed out my morning session, did some other things for a little bit, so I really didn't pay much attention to this area. But when I came back to my computer a little later in the day, I saw another one of these nasty opening bars. Like I've seen a couple of these in the last week where you have this just explosive bar at the hour open. So this one is at 10:01 Pacific. So um, about an hour earlier than sometimes we see that afternoon influx come in, but really interesting. This just huge candle shooting up, pushing back, chopping around in here for a while. And I saw this last week and I thought, that was like the Marines kicking down the door, blowing out stops. And I was just paying attention to that for in the future. I almost got in long right here as this was getting on top of the moving averages. Missed that entry. So I just let it go. But it was a nice little push back up into the top of that wick. Somebody could have taken that H pattern area right there, no problem. But started to see this continuing, right, to move up, move up, move up. We saw one more final push down. This bar shoots straight back up above the moving averages. And I clicked in right here at the 456 area. And we took this one in. We're starting to see this 21 curling up, crossing over the 200. So we're going from a narrowing state back into a widening state. And this was just a beautiful run. There was just nothing in this, nothing in this run making me want to get out. So anytime you see these moving averages stacked like this, we see 21 over 50 over 200, particularly when you see this 45-degree angle pushing up, This is just beautiful, right? This is printing money. Boom, 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 boom. Um, saw when we got into this area, part of this was fatigue, part of it was time, just a very long trade. I did scale out 50%. I forgot to mark this on my chart. Sorry here, folks. I did scale out half right here as this bar was falling back down, held the other half for this last impulse up here, and I got out right here at the 460.75 area. It did push up a little bit further. It didn't, I thought I'd clip the top. It went pulled back. But I saw this zone. It was starting to get a little frosty, getting above the moving averages. I thought we were going to come back down. But it did pop one more time before dropping through. And I was done at that point, called it a day. There was this one nice little sell off at the end. Somebody could have caught this little tent curl over here too. But really, really nice trades here today. I was super happy with the results overall. Had one pretty poor management um, earlier in the day, but it's fine. Didn't hurt me there. Just gave back a little bit too much profit. So, anyways, I hope you all had a wonderful trading day, and I hope this helped with you to better understand what are we looking at that early morning, right? What are we looking at when we open in these areas? We have to take the psychology of what are the institutions thinking, what are the retail traders thinking? What would you be doing? What is your threshold for pain and pleasure at these points, right? So I'm going to end it there. Hope everyone has a fantastic day and a great trading day tomorrow.